So it's just before a holiday week, so let's talk about PTO. It's a fun subject, and I thought I would talk about all the questions I get on it. So a lot of people ask, how much PTO should I give? And what's the difference between PTO and vacation? So in the old days, we used to call it vacation, and we used to call it sick pay. So vacation was when you wanted to go on vacation, and sick pay is when you were sick. Well, years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, we decided to combine those. So now we call them PTO, which is paid time off. And when you ask the question, how much is the right amount? It kind of depends on your industry and what your competitors are doing. I will say for professional services companies, 3 weeks to start is good. After 5 years, it usually goes to 4 weeks. And sometimes if the companies really want to keep people and for a longer-term employee, they take it to 5 weeks. I even have some clients that go to 6 weeks, but that's very unusual. So 3 weeks is kind of table stakes for those companies that are professional services companies. Companies with a lot of blue-collar employees, we do see them starting about 2 weeks, and then maybe not going up more than the 3 weeks, unless they have it for their executives, and then they probably start those off early. What about those people that come over? Let's say they've been a controller at another company and they're coming to be your controller. What do I do then? Do we start them at the 3 weeks or do we do something different? Well, what I like to do is for that first year, I'd like to make sure that they are grandfathered. So if they came over with 4 weeks and yours is, the 3 weeks for the first 4 years, that you would grandfather them into those 4 weeks because it's very unusual for somebody at a higher level position to want to take a step back in PTO. So that's my guidelines on numbers of days. And then I often get the question, what do you think about unlimited PTO? Well, you may not love this answer, but I don't love it. I like it when we give people the exact number of days that they should take. Because if you give unlimited PTO, it's kind of like putting a child in a playground without any fences. They often don't like to play unless there are fences, right? We don't know where that line is. We don't know if we take 5 weeks of vacation, is that too much? If we take 1 week of vacation, is that too little? Because we're not given that exact number. That means the people that are the really studious, great employees, they end up not taking enough time off. And those people that are kind of half in and half out, they ended up taking a lot of vacation time and then possibly getting fired because they took too much vacation time or too much PTO time in an unlimited plan. So it's very confusing. So we're seeing a lot of our clients that went with unlimited go back to the actual number of weeks that those employees have. And then I often get the question, should I recommend that they take all their vacation? And the answer is 100% yes. You should take all your PTO vacation, and so should your employees. And the reason being is because one of the talks I do and a lot of the research I've been doing is on mental health in the workplace. And what we're finding is for those people that take time off and take the right amount of time off a year, they are less likely to have mental health issues because of their workplace, because they get that downtime. They get that ability not to have to plug in and not to have to answer questions for, several weeks a year. And that really rejuvenates them. It really makes them ready to accept that challenge. And we do find that those people that do take their vacation PTO, that later on, their productivity when they come back is a lot higher. So we really encourage people to have them be off when they're off, meaning don't expect them to take their laptop, don't expect them to answer all your questions, don't expect them to make sure that they're checking in with the office. And I want our owners of our companies and our managers of our companies to actually do this too, because your example will set the tone for the entire company. So if you're never taking vacation, if you're always on the phone while you're on vacation back with the office, that's going to be shown as that's the right thing to do. I even had one client that evidently in one of their staff meetings, they introduced one of their employees and said, Bill likes the company so much, he doesn't even take any time off. Kind of like they were celebrating Bill. Well, that's not to be celebrated. We should be talking about that in a review at the end of the year, saying you must take your vacation. We want you to take your vacation. We want to invest in your health and your mental health. And so take your time off. So anyway, that's a little bit about all things vacation/PTO. If you have any other questions, please let us know.